Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. So, chapter 3. Okay. So last time I started to explain how can we program the LCD. As you see here, we have one LCD. I'm going to explain how can we program it. Similar to what I did to the other devices, I'm going to explain how it is connected. Okay, how can you program it? Software, how can you write a code? Okay. Yeah. So as you see here, guys, I told you in our board, we have this LCD. This LCD has 2 lines. Every line is 16 characters. Okay. And it is connected this way. As you see here, it's connected to port K. Okay. And the way it is connected is we have, I'm going to take PK0, as you see here, only one pin, PK0. I'm going to connect it to one pin here in the LCD. This is the LCD. This is the microcontroller. This pin is called RS. So what RS means? What RS means? As I told you last time, you need to send you need to send it to the LCD by bytes. Okay, these bytes you are sending to the LCD. It can be data or it can be commands. And today I'm going to give you more details. So if you are sending data, it is a byte. If you are sending a command, also it is a byte. Okay, in both cases you send byte. Okay, what data means? Data means character. I want to display character F, character A, character N. Okay, so as I mentioned last time, also it has to be the ASCII. Okay, so for example, if I want to display number 3, you should not send the 3. You have to send the ASCII of 3, which is 33. So if you want to see 3 here, you have to send 33, and this is data. Okay, so and as I command this, just a very simple example to command this like clear LCD. If you want to clear the LCD, turn the LCD off, turn on. As you will see, we have more commands I'm going to explain today. So now the question is, what I'm saying is, if you send the data or command this, in both cases you are going to send a byte. Okay, so how the LCD can know if you are going to send the data or send the command? Okay, so you are going to just give me a bunch of ones and zeros, a byte. Okay, how I can know this byte is data I have to display on the LCD, or this is a command I have to execute. How I can learn? Very simple. You can learn from this pin. So this pin is used to tell the LCD if you are sending data or command. So you have to set this bit before you send the byte. Okay, so as I said last time, if you put 0, that means you are telling it it's a command. If you put 1 here, you are telling the LCD this is data. Okay, that means before I can send the byte, either it is data or command, it is a byte. Before I send the byte to the LCD, first I have to do this one. I have to tell first. So as you see here, if it is command, you have to put 0. If it is a byte, you have to put 1 here. Is that clear? Just one bit, one pin. This pin should tell the LCD if you are gonna send to me, you have to do it first. Before you send the byte, you have to set this one first. Okay, this is number 1. Number 2, as I told you, either you send the data or commands, you have to send a byte. So how I can send a byte? To send a byte, I should have 8 pins, but actually we have here 4, as you see here, guys, PK2 to PK5. So we have four wires here, not 8. We have 4 wires. Okay, so how can you send 8 through 4? Right? The way you are gonna do it, I'm gonna do it 2 times. So I'm gonna send the 4 and then 4. You got what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do it twice, 4 and 4. Okay. Again, I'm explaining how this LCD works, how this LCD is connected. But I want to tell you, in your capstone, maybe there are some changes. Okay, maybe the LCD you are going to use in your capstone, it is 8, so you don't need to send the byte twice, maybe only one time. You also, commands may be different. Okay, the way we express commands are different, because this command is a code. It's just a number. It's as you will see right now, as I'm going to explain later. Every command just a number, right? As you will see here, just a number. So, for example, if I want to clear LCD, I have to send this number. Okay, these numbers may change from one LCD to another. Okay, it depends on the manufacturer. So, what you have to do, you have to get in your capstone. If you have to get the data set, the data sheet of your LCD, and should explain to you. Instead, if you want to clear, it's gonna give you a different number. So what I'm saying, what I'm teaching here, it's not gonna be very different if you use another LCD. Okay. However, you have to consider some changes. Okay. Like, for example, the code may be different, the way connection is done may be different, and so on. Anyway, so now, if you want to send a byte, this byte can be command or data. You have to send it twice, 4 and 4. Okay, as I'm going to explain right now. How? It has to be PK2 to PK5. Is that okay? The last thing we have here is this enable. Can you see this bit here? Enable. Okay. How this can be used? I'm going to tell you how. Look here. Look at the idea. You remember before? This is similar. You remember before when you had memory in the first lectures, in the very beginning, I told you memory should have one input here to say read or write. Do you remember when I explained it? The way I explained it is, for example, if I want to read, number one, I have to put the address here. Okay, so once I put the address, the memory is going to read? No, I have to give the command to memory to read. So number one, I have to put the address. After that, I have to tell the memory that I already put the address. You can start working right now. How can you do that? You have to put here, you have to put 0, put 1 here on the RED. So once you do that, the memory is gonna start working. It's gonna take this address and it's gonna give you the value here. Okay, it's the same thing here, guys. In this one here, we have one pin here connected to PK1. We call it enable. As I told you before, for example, as you will see right now in details, I want to send the data. I want to display number 3. So I have to send my data is 33, for example. Okay. So number one, how I do that? Number one, in RSC, I have to put 1. Bit clear. Bit set. So you have to write an instruction to put 1 here. Very easy. Bit set, as we did before, because this is port K. Okay. Number 2, the byte, which should have 33. Okay. This way. 33. Okay. This byte, you have to take 1/2, put it here. Okay. Then the LCD is gonna work? No, you have to give a command. You have to tell it you have to work. How can you do that? Once I put the half here, once I set this one, so I have to set this one first, and then I set this one. So the LCD is gonna work by its own? No, you have to tell the LCD you have to work. How I can do that? Very simple. I have to generate a signal like this one. Once I generate a signal like this one on E, so I'm triggering. I'm telling the LCD, the data is ready. Go and take it, right? So now I finished the first half. I have to repeat again with the second half. Is that okay? As you will see right now. Anyway, so the conclusion to move forward, guys. The conclusion is the LCD is connected to the microcontroller using port K. We don't need the 8 bits of port K. We only use 6, as you see here, 6 bits or 6 pins, whatever you want to say, pins. We only use 6 pins. Okay, 4 here and 1 here and 1 here. Okay, so I'm gonna give you more details now. So I told you we have here our LCD has 2 lines. Every line can have up to 16 characters. One more thing, inside the LCD itself, there is a RAM. This RAM should store. There is a RAM. So this is the LCD. There is a RAM here. There is one location here for each character. You got what I'm saying? So every character has one location in the RAM. Is that okay? That means Once you write, for example, I want to write, for example, number 3. Once you put it here in the RAM, it's gonna display it, and you don't need to write again. You just write it one time. It's gonna be stored in the RAM, and then it's gonna be displayed. So there is here internal RAM. This RAM should have 16 bytes, 16 locations. For every location, there is 1 byte here inside the LCD. Okay, there's something internal inside the LCD itself. Anyway, so let's again similar to what I did before in the keypad. To use LCD in assembly, we have 4 functions. All what I need from you to learn how can you use these 4 functions. Is that okay? But also I'm going to explain the details because I want you to learn. I'm not going to ask in exams and anything. I'm not going to ask about the details, but still it's important to learn the details because as I told you, maybe in your capstone, you are going to use a different LCD. So maybe you need to do, it's very bad idea to just learn functions. Just use this function and you will be happy. Okay, but what if I use a different LCD? I want to modify the function. You should learn how this function is made. So anyway, so I'm right now we have 4 functions. I'm gonna explain in C. Sorry, in assembly. The 4 functions are here. Okay, one for configuration. I'm gonna call it config LCD. This is just for configuration. Okay, I'm gonna give more details for sure. The second one, put character to LCD. So this one is used if you wanna display a character, one character. Okay, this one here. Okay, this one is used if you wanna run a command. If, for example, if you wanna clear LCD. So this one, if for command, this is for data, for a character. Again, character can be anything in the ASCII code. You remember the ASCII table we had before? The dot itself is a period is a character, right? Slash is a character, plus is a character. Even space, if you want to leave a space is a character. So I think as far as I remember, it's 20. I think the ASCII code is 20, but you can go to the table and check. Okay, anyway. So the last one here is called put string to LCD. String means a message, a complete message. So if you want to display a complete message, you can use this one. If you want to display only one character, letter A, letter B, whatever, so you can use this one. If you want to send a command, you can use this one. You have to use this one all the time, just once in the beginning of your program, just once, because this is for configuration. Okay, now that's all what I need for assembly. Okay, so now I'm going to explain, as I did before, number 1, how can we use these 4 functions. Also, I'm going to explain how they are programmed. Okay, just in case you wanna. Also, you should understand it anyway. So let's go to the details. So let's start with the first one. The first one here, we have a function. This function is called put character LCD, right? So this one is used if you want to display a character. If you want to display only one character. Again, this character can be anything in the ASCII code, like space, for example, or can be, okay? And before you call this function, right? Before you call this function or subroutine, you have to put the ASCII of the character you want to display in register A. You get what I'm saying? For example, I want to display number 3 on the LCD. How I can do that? Number one, you have to put the ASCII of 3 in register A. So I'm going to say load register A with number 33. So number 1, before I call this function, I have to put the ASCII of the character I want to display in register A, and then just jump subroutine, put character LCD. That's it. So this function is gonna take whatever in register A and send it to the LCD, display it. Very easy, very simple. Okay, very trivial. So that's all what you have to do. Just use this one. Is that okay? This is how can you use both character LCD. Any question, guys? Now I'm going to give you the details. Okay. So once you give me a character in register A, what this function should do? What this function should do to display it? To display this one. Okay. Actually, what this function should do is similar to what I explained here, guys. Number 1, because this function is for data, it's not for a command. So it has to write 1. So number 1, this function has to put 1 here, right? Because it's this data. This function is for data, it's not for command. This is the first thing this function has to do, has to put 1 here. Okay. Number 2, you give me register A. So I'm gonna take half, the half of register A. I don't remember which one first, the most significant half, or let me see here. Yeah, so yes, you are gonna take the most significant one first. Okay. So here, this is register A. So I have to take this half. I have to put it here from 2 to 5, right? Then number 3, the function has to generate a signal like this one. I'm explaining how we are going to program the function. So this is number 1, it has to do this one. Number 2, it has to do this one. Number 3 has to do this one. Are you done? No, I'm not done. I just did half of the work, half. Why? Because I have to repeat again with this half. Is that okay? So that's why as you will see right now, this function has 2 parts. They are exactly the same. The only difference, the first part is gonna work on this one, the second part is gonna work on this one. Is that okay? So let me give you the details. Any questions? Very interesting. I see it interesting. Why? Because there is some communication, there is a language. There is a language between the LCD and between the microcontroller. The language is, I have to put here some value so that you can understand me, understand what I want to do. I have to put some value here, and then I'm going to tell you to work, and then I'm going to write a code to implement this language. You get what I'm saying? So it's like device is communicating to another device. Okay? So let's see how can we do it. Look here, guys. So as I told you, this is subroutine. This subroutine, we have 2 parts. So this is part 1, and this is part 2. 2 parts, as I told you. They are exactly the same thing, but this part should work on this byte and on these 4 bits, and this part here is gonna work on these 4 bits. Okay, let me explain how it works. Number 1, as you see here, I'm gonna push A. You know why I do it, because I don't want to. I'm gonna use register A, and I don't want to change it. So push A here at the very end. At the very end, I pull E here. Okay. Or I can, anyway, I pull E here as you see, okay? But anyway, so here I'm pushing A, guys, because I'm gonna change, this is register A, okay? So first I need this part. So I'm gonna destroy this part you will see right now. But I need the original value because here, I need to get it back here. Why? Because here I have to work on this part. You will see right now what I mean. So I push it here, register A, because now I'm going to destroy this part, as you will see right now. So anyway, so look here, guys. I'm going to do AND A and F0. You know what I did? I'm going to tell you what I did. What I did here, this is register A. I'm going to put here 1, which is 1 1 1 1 0 0 0 0. So what I'm going to get here is actually the result is 0 0 0. So it's like you destroy this part, you clear it, and then I'm going to take the same bytes here. Okay, so mask. So I have 8 bits. I'm going to mask this 4. I'm going to keep this 4. Okay, because I want to send this 4. When I work on the first 4, I'm going to mask these ones because I don't want them. I want this one. Okay, so it's number 1. So number 1, I'm going to mask. I'm going to put zeros here. I'm going to keep this 4. Okay, this is number 1. Number 2, and I'm going to ask a question here. Hopefully someone can figure out why. Number 2, I'm going to shift A twice. I'm going to shift A. This is register A. I'm going to shift it twice. After I shift it twice, this is how. Okay, I need someone to tell me why. Okay, sorry. Why I did this way. Look. Okay, so this is register A. We have 4 bits here. Okay, so after I shift, after I clear, after I put zeros here, as I told you, I'm gonna shift it. So now after I shift it 2 times, there should be 0 0, and the 4 bits should come to here. The 4 bits should come here, and there should be 0 0 here. So now I have a byte. This byte looks like 0 0, right? and then the 4 bits, the most significant nibble or the most significant 4 bits, and then 0, 0, right? And then this byte, I'm going to send to port K, as you see here. Why? Why I shifted twice? Yes. That's true. Simply because if you go back here, thanks. If you look here, the data should start from PK2. PK2. You got what I'm saying? That's what I did. So when I shifted to twice, so I'm gonna have here 0, 0, 0, 0, and the 4 bits here. So I'm gonna start from 2 to 5, and then I'm gonna send everything to port K. Is that okay? So this is step number 1. So step number 1, I'm gonna put here the most significant 4 bits. Is that okay? 2 and 5. That's why I shifted twice. Okay. Number 2. What should I do? Number 2, I told you I have to do something here, and then after everything is ready, I'm gonna tell the LCD, you can start working right now, and then I'm done. Very easy, very interesting, very easy. Okay. So now, as you see here, guys, I'm gonna set RS, as I told you. So I have to put 1 here. I have to put 1 here because 1 means data. I'm sending data. Okay. That's what I did here. That's what I did here. So bit set port K, pin number 1. Okay, this is pin number 1. So pin number when you put number 1 here, number 1 means 1 0 0 0. So actually bit number 0. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Then here, look what I did here. This part here. What I did now, I told you. Now everything is ready. Everything is ready. The LCD can start working. But the LCD is not gonna work until I command and until I tell this. How I can tell the LCD to work? I have to generate something like that. How? Very simple. For this pin BQ1, you have to set BQ1. That's number 1. Number 2, you have to wait little bit. I'm not gonna wait 1 minute, just very little bit. Okay. Then I'm gonna clear BQ1. That's it. That's how I can do this. Once you do this, okay, so the LCD is gonna take this value here, okay, it's gonna learn that this is for data. So I'm done. I finished half of the work. Okay, that's exactly what I did. Look here, guys. Bit set to BQ1 bit set, and then I'm gonna waste some time. And then bit clear. That's what I told you. So bit set, waste some time, bit clear. Is that okay? Something very interesting. There is one instruction. This instruction is called no operation. NOP means no operation. So it's a command, and this command doesn't do anything. Why? Because this command waste 1 cycle. I use it just to waste 1 cycle. You got what I'm saying? So this one is gonna waste 1 cycle. So I'm gonna waste 3 cycles. Why? Because I wanna keep it high for some time before I lower it. You got what I'm saying? Anyway, any questions? So this is the first part. Okay, how the second part can be different? How it will be different? I'm gonna tell you how. Okay, number 1. Here, as you will see right now, I have to work. What I did in the first part, I work it on these 4. Okay, now I have to work on these 4. Okay, how can you do that? As you will see, look here, guys. I masked the first 4 bits. Here, I'm gonna mask the most significant 4 bits. Okay, so I'm gonna take register A, then I'm gonna mask this part. So I'm gonna put here 0 0 0. I'm gonna put 1 1 1 here. I'm gonna mask this part. So now register A, we have here some value, and we have 0 0 0 0. Is that okay? What I did before, I did shift right. This time I'm gonna do shift left. Okay, I'm gonna shift left. Okay, this way 2 times as I did here. After doing that, so now I have 0 0. I have the least significant 4 bits 0 0. Now I'm gonna send them to port K, as you see here. Now I'm gonna put 1 here in RS, because 1 here means this is for data, right? And then these instructions here, I'm gonna generate another command here to tell the LCD, the second half is ready, just to come and take it. Okay. So now, after receiving the 2 halves, 4 and 4, Now the LCD is gonna start working. It's gonna take this value, it's gonna display it on the LCD, right? And to display it is gonna take some time. That is why here I'm gonna make a delay, little bit delay, because the LCD is slow. Comparing to the microcontroller, LCD is slow, right? So don't expect when I tell the LCD display this number, it's gonna display it right away. No, it's gonna take some time because it is slower than the microcontroller. That's why I put here some delay to wait until the LCD finish this displaying the number. Any questions? Okay, so now this is the first function. Let me summarize everything here. Okay, you don't need to know all these details, although I think it's important for your learning. Okay, but more important is how can you use the function. And the way you have to use this function is easy. You just, in this function, you just call this function, but before you call this function, you have to store in register A the character you want to display. And you already have the ASCII table. So see what character you want to display. Everything should have everything should have ASCII code, right? So see what character is. It can be special character, it can be letter, or it can be number, whatever it is, even space. Okay, so just put it in A and then call this function. Is that okay, guys? Any questions? Okay. The second function we have, this one is called put character. So this one is used if you want to display a character. Okay. Now, what if I wanna run a command? What if I wanna send a command to say LCD, right? So we have another function. This function is called command to LCD. Command to LCD. Okay. So this function is used if you want to send a command. For example, every command should have a code, should have a number, right? For every command. And that's what I'm going to teach right now, because that's what we need in next week lab. Okay. So every command should have a number. Okay. Once you send this number to the LCD is gonna do this command. Okay. How you came up with this number? I didn't come up with them. The people who manufactured this one, they give it to me. They tell me, if you want to clear the LCD, you have to send this number. If you want to turn it on, you have to send this one, and so on. Is that okay? So number one, how I can use this one? Okay. Okay. So what I'm just I received one email from one student. I thought there is a problem in the Zoom, but looks okay. So here, guys, here is how can we use this one? This is exactly similar to what we did here. Command to put character LCD. It is exactly same thing as we did here. Okay. The only difference. So before you call this one, the command you want to execute, you have to put the code in register A and then call this one. For example, number 01. Okay, number 01. This is the code for clear. If you want to clear the LCD, right? I'm going to teach the codes right now. I'm going to teach all the commands right now. But let's have this one. So every command has a number. Okay. So I know this number is to clear. Okay. So all what I have to do, I have to say load register A and then 01. So I'm going to put 01 in A. Okay. So you have to put the code in A. This number one. Number two, you have to call this function. For example, you can say jump subroutine command to LCD. That's it. That's it. You got what I'm saying? So anyway, so very easy. So this function is exactly similar to the other function. The same thing. The only difference is in register A, here you have to put a command in register A, but here you in register A you have to put a character ASCII. Okay. The other thing here is now how this function will be different from the previous function. Look here. This function is exactly copy and paste, similar to this one. There's only one difference. Anyone guess what is the difference? Only one. That's true. This is the only difference. Yes. So everything is the same. Everything is the same because command has 8 bits. So we're going to send 4. Sorry, we're going to send 4, and then we're going to send 4. It's exactly the same thing. The only one difference. The only difference is RS. Yeah. Here, this one. Here, RS is bit set. I'm going to make it bit clear. That's it. Because I have to put 0. I told you this bit can tell the mic, can tell the LCD if this is a command or this is an instruction. Sorry, command or character. Okay. So if you look at the code here, I'm not going to explain it. It's similar. It's the same code. This is the only difference here. Just in RS. Okay. Any questions? So now we are done with 2 functions. Okay. So what I'm going to teach right now, guys, I told you every command has a number, has a code. You should know this code. So I'm going to explain now all the code, all the commands we have. Okay. How can you use them? Very easy. Just put them in register A and then call this function. That's it. Yeah. So this is the table. This table is summarizing. This table is summarizing all the commands here in this table. So I'm going to go through them one by one. Okay. Forget this last. For sure, this is RS. RS is always 0. So forget this one. Okay, we don't need it. Also forget this one. This is the byte. This is the byte you have to send. This is the byte I told you about from B0 to B7. So here, this is the byte. This is the byte you have to put it in register A as I explained. Okay, this is the code you have to put in register A. So let's see. Let's go through them one by one. So let's see. So again, I'm saying forget the last 2 here. Okay. So if you look at this one, guys, here, 10000. Okay. So what this one is doing, as you see here, this should take 1.64 millisecond. You got what I'm saying? So you have to wait some time because it's not gonna do it right away. It takes some time, as you see. Anyway, some of them takes very little time. Some of them takes time. Anyway, so here, what this one is gonna do? This one is gonna clear the display. This number 1, clear. So if there any text, this is gonna clear everything. The display. Okay, this is number 1. Number 2 is gonna return the cursor. We have a cursor. Okay, let me show you the picture here. Yeah, can you see this one here? We have a cursor here. Okay, so this command is gonna clear the LCD and then it's gonna return the cursor here to the beginning here. Okay, when you write, you are gonna write at the location of the cursor. So if the cursor is here, so for example, right now, if I send any command, if I send any character here, it's gonna be written here because the cursor is here. Okay, if the cursor is here, so it's gonna be written here. If the cursor is here, it's gonna be written here, and so on. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the location of the cursor. But usually what happens, look here, guys, as you will see right now. For example, I write letter E. So the cursor is moved by 1. You know what I'm saying? When I write A, automatically the cursor should be moved by 1. So it's always like that. So every time you write a character, the cursor is moved by 1. Okay. So anyway, so the first one here, 0, 1. Okay. This one should clear the LCD. This is number 1. Number 2, it should return the cursor to the beginning. So if the cursor is here, for example, now the cursor is here, right? So if I clear this one, the cursor is going to return at the beginning, and now it's blank. Any question? Very easy, right? This is the first one. Let's have what commands we have. Okay. The second command we have here. So explaining them one by one. Okay. So let's. So this is the first one. Even here, I'm telling you how can you use it. Okay. So this is the first one here. You have to put number 1 in register A, and then you jump subroutine as you see here. Okay. That's it. Let's see the second one. If you go to the table here, the second one here, guys, look. Here you have to put 0, 0, 0, 0. You have to put 1 here. Okay. And here there should be asterisk. Asterisk means don't care. It doesn't matter. So if you put 0, put 1, it doesn't matter. Is that okay? Don't care. Anyway, so what this one should do, it's already explained here. This one should return the cursor at home position. You know what I mean by home position? This is the home position in line 1, the first one on the left here on line 1. Okay, this is what we call home position. So this one should return the cursor to the home position. Okay. Also, that's it. So it doesn't clear. For example, if you have here the word hello, and the cursor is here. If I execute this instruction, So it's gonna return this one to here. Is that okay? As you will see right now, I can shift the word. For example, as you will see right now. So for example, word hello. We have one command to shift it. For example, hello to shift. Okay. Anyway, why I need to shift it? Maybe you want to do, sometimes the people do something like rotating text. You got what I'm saying? You may not need it, but we have a command to shift the text. Shift it. Anyway. But I'm going to talk about this one. But let's now finish this command, number 2. So this one should return the cursor to home position. This number 1, okay? Again, I told you home position is left-hand side in the first line without changing the content, okay? So it doesn't change the content. It doesn't clear. So when you write, you are going to overwrite what is written there, okay? For example, here you have hello. The cursor is here. After you execute this instruction, the cursor is going to come to here. Okay, now if I write now A, letter A, so you are going to overlay this one. So now it becomes this one A, and the cursor move here. Okay, again, I'm going to teach you all the commands we have. You may not need all of them. Okay, so, but I'm explaining what they are doing. Okay, so, but you may not need all of them. Okay, this is for this one. Let's see the next one. So the next one, as you see here, guys, as you see here, it has 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, okay? And then it has 1 here. And then here you can put, here you have these two, you can change these 2 bits. You can put 0 or 1 in these 2 bits, okay? Every bit is doing something different. So that's what I'm going to explain. What S means, what I and G means, okay? That's what I'm going to explain right now. So already they are explained here even in the table. So S here means no shift, no display shift. Okay, 1 means you are going to shift the display. Again, you know what I mean by shift the display? I mean, again, you have hello this way. I can shift it. So for example, it's going to have hello this way. If you execute 1 time, if you execute it again, so you are going to shift it more. So every time you execute the instruction, you are going to shift the text. Okay, you can shift the text right or left, right? Who's going to say it is right or left? ing. So ing here is going to tell you the direction of the shift, okay? As you will see right now. But also ing is here, this one is used if you want to decrement the cursor position or increment the cursor position. What this means? Pretty simple. It's easy. Look here. All the time, we are going to increment the cursor position all the time. Why? Because we write English. In English, we write from left to right, right? So when I write H, I need the cursor to move to the right. Increment. This way you increment the cursor, okay? Then when I write, for example, E, letter E, so always I need the cursor incremented. Why you call it incremented? Because this is position 0, position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, so it's going to go this way. For some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, if you want the cursor to move this way, right, right to left, so you can select it this way, decrement it this way. You got what I'm saying? So increment, again, we're going to use increment all the time because we write English, left to right. So every time I want to write something, I need the cursor to move to the right, not to the left, right? So that's what I'm explaining here. So let me, how I'm explaining here. I'm explaining here, look here, guys, about ing. What I'm saying here about ing, after each character you write, the cursor is decremented. Decremented means it's moved to the left. The cursor is going to move this way, right? However, this is if you put 0 here. However, if you put 1 here, and that's what we are going to do all the time, mostly, because the cursor is going to move to the right. So it is incremented. So that means it's going to move to the right. Is that okay? Okay. And now, the next one here, again, all the time, again, so this instruction is useful in order to program the LCD to move the cursor all the time to the right. Increment. All the time I'm going to select increment anyway. You get what I'm saying? I don't know how can you select decrement, but again, I'm explaining the capability of the LCD, what the LCD can do and then you can use it in different things. But in normal English writing, or normally, I'm gonna tell the cursor to every time to increment. Okay. So anyway, let's see the next one. The next one is too easy. In the next one here, guys, as you see here, okay, you have here 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, right? And then we have here 3 bits. As you see here, we have 3 bits, D, C, B. Okay, we have 3 bits. Every bit is doing something different. So let me explain them. Okay, so every bit can be 1 or 0. 1 is gonna do something, 0 is gonna do something else. Okay, so let me explain them. D, C, B. For example, as you see here, guys, D, C, B, as you see, they are here. Okay, let's look at D first. D. So this bit, the display is on or the display is off, right? So if you put here 0 in this bit, that means you want to turn the display off. If you put 1, you want to turn the display on. Is that okay? Because that's what you are going to need in the coming lab. In the coming lab, guys, is going to be a practice on the using of the keypad and also the using of the LCD. So the way I made it, as you see here, guys, we have 16 keys. We have 16 keys. Out of these 16 keys, we have from 0 to 9 numbers, right? Numbers. So I'm gonna tell you in the coming lab, if I hit number 9, I want to see 9 here. If I hit 7, I want to see 7. Okay. So you have to call the keypad. You have to get a character. If the character you are gonna get from the, but also listen to me, very interesting. When you call the keypad, you are gonna get the character in register A. I'm right? It was A or B? Do you remember? It was A, right? So keypad is gonna give you an A, and then if you wanna send put character to LCD, you are gonna send A. So it's the same thing. Okay, you are gonna get it from the keypad and send it to put character LCD. So here I'm telling you in the coming lab is if what you are receiving, what you are receiving from the user is a number from 0 to 9, display this number. So all what you have to do, call keypad and then compare A. You check if A is between 30 and 39. What should I do? Just put character LCD, display A. You get what I'm saying? Now we have on top we have 16 keys, right? The other keys we have from 0 to 10, so still we have 6 keys. The 6 keys are going to be used for other things, commands, right? So one key is going to be used to turn the LCD off or on. You get what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell you this key, turn it on or turn it off. So all what you have to do after you call the keypad, it check for the value you are going to get from the keypad. If the user hit this key, okay, for example, we have A, B. For example, I'm going to use, I don't know how I wrote it in the lab, but it doesn't matter. So for example, A, I'm going to use A to turn on, for example. So if the user gives you A, that means you have to turn on. So how can you turn on? That's what I'm explaining here. How can you turn off? That's what I'm going to explain here. So this is one of the things, the commands you need in the coming lab, okay? So in the coming lab, one key you are going to use to turn it on and off, okay? Again, when you turn it off, you are not going to, it's off. You're not going to see the text. It's going to be off, okay? However, it's going to be something interesting. However, although it is off, so now it's something interesting you should watch for the coming lab. It's hello, and there is underscore this way, okay? I make it off. After I make it off, you don't see anything because it's off. Now, in your code, if you send a character A, it is off, right? Actually, it's going to display A. So if it is off and you write, it's going to write because it's going to write in the memory, internal memory, right? But you're not going to see it. When I turn it on again, I will see hello A. You got what I'm saying? So a little bit trick. The trick here is even if it is off and you write, it's still off, but it's already written. When you turn it on, you will see it. Okay. Again, this is not a major problem. You can fix it simply in your code. You know how you can fix it in your, or what is the problem? The problem is that in your code, if it is off, you go to so you are going to go to the beginning of your code again, get a number from the user and send to the LCD. So your software is allowing that. So the code is allowing that. So even if it is if, you are gonna go take a number and write it, right? So it can be very simple. It can be fixed by in your code easily. All what you can do is, if it is off, so you have to keep loop here. Don't go to the beginning again. You have to keep looping in this part until you turn it on. Okay. Again, this is a small thing, but anyway. So again, so how can you turn on and off? Just very simple. You have one bit. This bit you can turn on and off. Okay. If you put here in this bit, if you put 0, that means the display should be off. If you put 1, that means the display should be on. Initially, in the very beginning, initially, I'm gonna make it on for sure. Initially, okay. Let's see the other bit. Remember what I was explaining this one here, guys. All what I said, you have to put here 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, and then you have to put here three bits. Okay, every bit is gonna do something different. For I told you about here. Which one? Bit D. This one I was talking about, this D. So this bit is used to turn it on and off. Is that okay? Now let's talk about this bit here. This one. So this one should take care of the cursor here. Cursor on or cursor off. Okay. What is the difference? I'm going to tell you what is the difference. If, for example, if you go to this picture here, you can see the cursor, right? So now cursor is on, so you can see it. Look what I'm saying. I can remove it, so you cannot see it. But the problem now, you don't know the location of the cursor, right? So if you change it, if you put the cursor here, you're not going to see it, right? Because but once I see it, I know when I write, I'm going to write here. Anyway, so this command, we have a command that can be used if you want a cursor on or off. Okay, so if the cursor is on, you will see something like that. If the cursor is off, so it will be something like that, nothing. But it's going to be here. It's nothing. Is that okay? Yes, sure.
For lab or projects, if using the LCD, does it need to be on or off, or does it make a difference?
It doesn't make any difference. Cursor doesn't make any difference. Okay. But again, look, if you want to display a message to the user, for example, maybe it makes more sense to make it off, for example. However, if you are typing, if you are writing and you want to see what's written, maybe you turn it on. Anyway, it's up to you. It's not a big deal. Okay. So this bit can control it. Very simple, just one bit. Okay. So just one bit can control if it is on and off. The last bit here, which is this bit here, guys. This bit can control what we are. You want to see a cursor or blinking. Okay. So here. So this one, if it is 0, that means blink off. Blink is on. Okay. So what I mean by blink, again, you have the board. You can try it and see it by yourself, but I'm going to try to explain it. Blinking means if it is not blinking, it's going to be like a cursor this way. That's it. Right? If no blinking, you will see like a dash this way, and that's it. Okay. If it is blinking, what happens is that you will see dash, and then after a few seconds, it's going to be everything highlighted, and then dash again, blinking. You got what I'm saying? So you will see in this character. In this character, you see dash, then blinking, dash, then blinking, blink. Sorry, then black. Okay, you hopefully you explained it well. You can say it's just one character. You will see dash and then black. Dash, it's the same character. You got what I'm saying? That's what I mean by blinking. Anyway, don't ask me why I need blinking. I don't know. Don't use it. Okay, I don't know. I'm just explaining the capability of the LCD. Okay. Again, honestly, most of the time, we're gonna make the cursor on. Most of the time, we're gonna make the blinking off. Most of the time, but anyway, you have the option here. Anyway, any question, guys? Pretty simple. So now, just I was explaining these 3 bits. This bit can turn on and off the LCD. This bit can make the cursor on and off. This bit can control the blinking 0 or 1. Okay. I'm just giving you examples here about what I explained right now. So for example, here, if I want to make the cursor is off, so this bit has to be 0. So I'm giving you example here. If I want to make it on, so this bit should be 1. C, I think, what is C? C is the second one. Yes, middle. Okay. So here, I'm just giving you example here. If you want to make blinking is the first one here. If you want to turn on and off, and that's what we need in the coming lab. So here, this bit for on and off, this bit or the next one? I'm sorry, the next one, this bit. So here I put 0 to turn it off. But if you want to turn it on, you have to put here 1, as you see here. Okay, guys? Okay. Yeah, sure.
Is there like a default setting or every
That's a very good question. Yes, that's why I mentioned, look here. I mentioned we have 4 functions. I'm gonna explain. I already explained 2 functions. Okay. There is a function we call it configure LCD. I'm gonna explain it right now. This is the initial configuration. As you will see right now in the configuration, yeah, this is configure LCD. As you see here, the way I made the configuration, as you see here, I made turn display on, turn the cursor on, turn blanking off. This I made it in the initialization, right? So this is, you have to call it only one time at the beginning of your program. This is initialization. I'm gonna explain everything for this one, but okay. The next instruction I want to teach is this one. As you see, I told you forget the last 2. So in this instruction, guys, you have to put here 0, 0, 0, 1, and then here don't care. So the first 2 bits, it doesn't matter. So now you have only 2 bits, this bit and this bit. Okay. This bit, I'm gonna tell you how this instruction is used if you want to move the cursor, for example, and that's what we need in the coming lab. Okay. You know here in the keyboard, when you use the arrows, arrows to move the cursor right or left, same thing. Okay. For example, you have hello this way, and the cursor is here. Okay. If you want to move the cursor this way 1 step, yeah, this it can do it. If you want to move it 1 more step to the right, or you want to move it to the left, you get what I'm saying? This command can do it. So this command can move the cursor right or left, and that's what we're going to do in the coming lab as well. So okay. So in the coming lab, you are going to use 2 keys, because I told you we have 16 keys, 10 for numbers, and then we have 6 keys we're going to use for commands, right? So 1 for on off, as I explained, 2 to shift right, to not shift, to move the cursor right or move the cursor left. You get what I'm saying? Also, as I told you guys, for example, if I write hello this way, the cursor is here. So when I write, it's gonna write here. Okay. If you move the cursor here, when I write, I'm gonna write here. I'm gonna replace this one. Okay. So anyway, so let's see how it works. As you see here, guys, we have two values. Okay, one value should tell right or left. It's called R or L. R or L. So this one should tell you want to move the cursor right or left. Is that okay? And this one here should be, if you put 0, that means I want to move the cursor. Look here, guys, very simple. So this bit, if you put here 0, that means I want to move the cursor. Okay, and this one can tell right or left. So move it only 1 step. So if you want to move 2 steps, you have to send the command 2 times. Okay. So here R and L. So for example, if you wanna move the cursor to the left, this way. Okay. So you have to put here 0 and you have to put here 0, and that's what you need. You need this command in the coming lab. Okay. Also, if you want to move the cursor 1 step to the right, you can use this one. Right. So here you have to put 0 here and you have to put 1 here. Very easy. Right. Any questions? Now, what if I put here 1? What it means? So if I put 0, that means I want to move the cursor. So now, if you put here 1, what it means? If you put 1, it means I want to move the text itself. I want to shift the text right or left. You get the difference. So the difference is that here, if you put 0, that means I'm not going to move the text. The text is the same, but I'm going to move the cursor, right? But if you put 1 here, that means I want to shift the whole text. For example, as I told you, we have here hello this way, and if I move it to the right, so it's going to be shifted this way. So it's going to be hello this way. It's going to be shifted one step to the right. Okay. Again, why I need to shift the text, I don't know, but I just have one idea to do it. One idea, for example, if you want to do like something like rotating. Sometimes you have a text and you want to rotate the text, something like that. Okay, you can use it. But at least for the coming lab, guys, we need this one: how to move the cursor right, how to move the cursor left. Is that okay? Any questions? Okay, what else we have here? What we have here, only one command is missing here, guys. I'm going to tell you which command. Also, we're going to need in the coming lab. Look here, guys. Very simple. we have here, I told you guys, we have here 16 character. Also, we have here 16 character, 16 and 16, right? I told you every character has a location in the RAM location. For example, this location 0, location 1, location 2, and so on. Everyone has a location. This instruction is used if you want to put the cursor anywhere, not shifting, anywhere. Okay. For example, I want to put the cursor here. I want to put the cursor here. I want to put it here. I want to put it here. I want to put it anywhere. You got what I'm saying? Not shifting. Okay. The one I explained before, you can you can move the cursor one step to the right or one step to the left, right? But what I'm explaining right now, this command, it can be used if you want to put the character anywhere in the 52 locations. You got what I'm saying? How can you do that? I'm going to tell you how. Very simple. I'm going to tell you how. Look here, guys. These are the 8 bits. These are the 8 bits. Here you have to put 1. Here you have to put 0. Here you have to put 0. That's okay. Is that okay? Okay. This bit here can tell if this is line 1 or line 2, right? So if I put here 0, as you see here, guys, 0 means it is line 1. If you put 1, it means line 2. Is that okay? In every line, we have 16 locations. So, for example, if I select line 1, here's these 4 bits should select one of 16 locations. Look at them, we have 16 locations. That's why we have 4 bits here. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. For example, if I put here 0, that means line 1. If I put here 0, 0, 0, 0, so that means it is here. In the first location 0 on line 1. Look at what I'm saying? So, and that's what we need in the coming lab. You will need this instruction. So if this instruction here is going to be, what this number is 1000, I think it's going to be C880. So if you use 80, that means you put the character at the beginning of line 1. 80. Okay. So if I want to put it here, if I put it in line 2, okay. So it's the same, exactly same thing, but you have to put here 1 instead of 0. So it has to be 1 1 0 0 0 0 0, which is C0. C0. Conclusion. You can, number 1, you can put the cursor anywhere, okay, in the 32 locations. If I want to put it here in the coming lab, I'm going to ask you put it here or put here in the beginning of line 1 or the beginning of line 2. If you want to put it at the beginning of line 1, this is the command you have to use. If you want to put it in the beginning of line 2, this is the command you have to use. C0. That's it. So in the coming lab, there is a button you have to use. This button can move the cursor from up to down or down to up, right? So in the coming lab, it's gonna be like I want to use the LCD, not like I want to display a character and that's it. No, I want to use the LCD to edit. For example, I want to write a message, something like that. You get what I'm saying? So I can write a message. If I make a mistake, I can move the cursor to the right. I can leave a space. You get what I'm saying? So for example, that's why we have instructions here. I'm going to tell you something really very interesting. But for example, you can write, but for sure I'm not going to write letters. So I'm going to just write numbers. For example, 3 2, and then you can move the cursor to here. You already have an instruction to move the cursor, and then you can write 7, right? And then you can write 3, then move the cursor, and then write 5. If you make a mistake, you can move the cursor back to here and to change this number, because you can move the cursor right or left, so you can move the cursor. Is that okay, guys? Any questions? Okay. So that's all the instructions we have. Okay. Yes.
The slide before that. When right below it says that 1B600, that cell, there's 2 zeros in front of that, isn't there, for the?
Yeah, forget them. I told you forget the first 2, because one of them for RS, as you see here. One of them for RS, the other one for read or write. All the time we're gonna read. We're not gonna. Sorry, all the time we're gonna write. We're not gonna read. So if you look how it is configured here, because look here. So the RS should be 0 all the time. We agree on that because this is data, right? RS here, this one, because LCD, you can write or you can read if you want, right? But the way you are going to use it, I'm going to ground this one 0 all the time because I'm going to only write. I'm not going to read. Someone can ask me, this is not input device. How I can read from it? This is not input device. Okay, anyway, we're not going to do it here, but maybe other LCD you can do it. I can tell you what I can read. I told you inside here, there is a RAM. Inside this one, there is a RAM. This RAM should have 16 locations. So what, for example, you have here, try to understand it because somehow important, okay? Listen to what I say. You have here, you are writing something, hello, for example, or writing something here. I'm, for example, like 3130, whatever. So you write something here, okay? So what you are writing here, can you read it? Okay. No, you can't. So for example, if I want to know what, if I want to know what I wrote here, so you have, again, because this is 0 here, you cannot read. But again, you can use it in a different way, but we're not gonna, not in this LCD, maybe another LCD. You can connect it somehow, and then in this time you can read. So when I read, I can read what character here, what character here, what character here. I can know what character here, okay? But still you can do it, even if you cannot read, by keep tracking what you are sending to the LCD. So for example, I send H to the LCD, so I'm gonna put it in array, so that if I need to know what I wrote to the LCD already stored in array. So in your code, you need to keep tracking if you need. I'm saying if you need to see what is written here, so you can keep tracking of what you sent, right? So you can have like in your program, can you have like array to reflect this one? Every time you do modification here, I'm gonna make modification in the image of the array I have. Anyway, we're not gonna need this one anyway. So what I'm saying here, all the time, this pen is going to be 0 all the time, right? Because all the time, the way you are going to use it, I'm going to just read. Sorry, I'm going to just write. I'm not going to read, okay? And also this one 0 all the time. That's why I told you, forget these two, right? Because as you see, look here, this one 0 all the time, okay? Forget, because 0 for command, you are sending a command. Forget this one. This is for data. This one you send the data, something else. Also here, read or write are going to be 0 unless you want to read, but we're not going to read anyway, okay? So forget this one. This is the code is here, okay? Any questions? So let me tell you what I summarized. Very easy. Okay. So what I summarized is we have one function. This function is called comment to LCD. This one is used if you want to send a comment to the LCD. All what you have to do before you call this function, you say load accumulator A, and then put the code here, put the code for the command. Okay, so if you want to clear, you should learn what code, every command has a number or a code, right? So you have to put it in registry and then call this one. Okay, and then I taught several codes. So I taught one code, how can you clear LCD? Clear. How can you turn on? How can you turn off? Is that okay? I explained cursor. How can you move the cursor to the left and to the right? Cursor, move it right and left. And that's what you need in the coming lab. Okay. Also, I explained how can you put the cursor anywhere. Okay. So in the coming lab, one key you have to use to move the cursor one step to the right. One key, move the cursor one step to the left. One key, if the cursor in the first line, you move it to the next line. If it is in second line, move it to the first line. Okay, so one key to do that. Okay. Another thing, I'm gonna one key is gonna be used as backspace. But we don't have a command. Have you taught a command for that? No, I didn't. So here one key is used as backspace. Backspace. You know what backspace means? I'm going to tell you what it means. For example, if this is hello this way and the underscore is this way, when I execute this instruction, that's what I have to see. I have to see HELL and then the cursor this way. Eat. You eat one character. Every time I send this command, I want to eat one character. In the coming lab, I'm going to tell you make backspace. Do we have an instruction to do backspace? No, I finished teaching this instruction or comments. No, we didn't. So how I can do it? I can't do it using one instruction, but I can do it using multiple instruction. Can anyone guess how you can use the instruction I taught right now to do backspace? You understand what I'm saying? Yes.
Maybe like move the cursor backwards.
Okay. So number one, I'm gonna do what you are saying exactly, right? So I'm gonna act as a dragon board. Okay, tell me what you wanna do. Move it one step to the left.
Move
Yes.
back one space.
To the left. Yes. Okay. Okay. Give me 1 second. So if this is the current, if this is the LCD, okay. So we already have a command. This command is gonna move it one space to the left. Okay. You already have this command to move the cursor one step to the left. Yes. What else?
Right. Is there a way to just write a blank?
Yes. Yes. This one has ASCII code, which is 20 space. Blank. Blank is a space. 20. Okay. So here you have to use you have to use data, not a command. Okay. So this is not a command. This is a character data. Because the ASCII of space is 20. I guess it's 20. You can check the table, but I think I'm confident it's 20. But you can check the table. Okay. I'm gonna do this one. So number one, move the cursor one step to left. Okay. Number two, right space. Okay. Here you have to use put character LCD. Okay. Here you have to use a command for this one. Okay. I'm gonna do that. So after I do that, it's gonna be HELL space and the cursor is here. Done?
No, then you have to use the command to go backwards.
That's true. So I have to return it one step back. Yes. So number three, I'm gonna say move cursor one step to left, right? Yes. So that I can bring it here. Just true. So you have to write 3 instructions to make like a backspace. Interestingly, when you do that, you are not gonna see the cursor is moving, and then the space is written, and then the cursor is gonna go back. You are not gonna see that. Okay, it's gonna be very smooth. It's very smooth. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? So you're not gonna see that because it's fast. Any questions? That's something you have to do in the coming lab. So in the coming lab, you have to use one key, right? You have to use this key to make backspace. Any questions? Okay. Now, guys, I told you here in assembly we have four commands. The first command I already taught, put character LCD. Command to LCD, I already taught them. Now I want to talk about configure LCD. Configure LCD. So as I told you, configure LCD, you have to use it only one time to do initialization, and this is the content of this function as you see here. So as you see here, guys, in this function, number one, I have to configure port K output. Yeah, we always do that. We need to configure port K output. So it's already in the configuration here. Now I'm gonna wait some time because this is gonna take some time. Okay. Then this is a command. This command is used to tell the LCD. This LCD should be 4-bit data to this just or two line display and five times font. Five times 8 means 5 point, I think, in 8. Some, you know, every character just points here. But anyway, this is just the initialization to the LCD. Okay, and then this one turn display on, turn cursor on, turn blinking off. So we already explained this one. Clear LCD. So when you do initialization, I'm gonna clear LCD. Okay. Also, I'm gonna ask the cursor to move to the right. So every time I write, I need the cursor to move to the right because I'm gonna write English. You know what I'm saying? So every time I need to cursor to move this way, not this way. Any questions? Anyway, so this is just a configuration. In your program, you have to write it only one time at the beginning of your code, and that's it. Any questions? Okay. So last thing we have here before I show this program, this one, put character LCD. This one is used if you want to display a character. Okay, one character, letter A, letter B. This one is used if you want to display a complete message. Complete message. What is the difference? Message is just a number of characters, right? That's true. That is why you will see right now, inside this one, we are using this one, right? So for example, I wanna display something like, please enter pin code. Enter pin code. For example, this is a message. I want to display this message. Okay. So this one will do this. Put a string LC will display. And you will see internally, this should be an array, as you will see right now. It is an array. This one is going to take one character and then it's going to send to comment to LCD internally. Look what I'm saying. So how you make it? I'm going to tell you how you make it. Number one, you need to define array this way. This is the message. You can name it any name. So I have to create an array. This is the message I have. And you have to end it with 0, because 0 is the delimiter. I think you know what I mean by delimiter. And you know, when I put something in quotation here, you know what it means? It means I am asking the code warrior to convert this character into ASCII, right? That's why if you take I know you can use dc.b or you can use FCC. I think we explained it using FCC. Both I think should be okay. So this will be an array. This array should have the ASCII of E, the ASCII of C, the ASCII of E, the ASCII of space, the ASCII of 3, and so on. ASCII, 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 and at the end there should be 0. You got what I'm saying? You have to create this one. So your message, the message you want to display, you have to put it in an array this way, and you don't need to bother yourself and do the conversion by yourself. Just put it this way, and the code warrior is gonna convert the character to ASCII, right? And then all what you have to do, guys, the beginning address of this array, just send the beginning address to put string LCD to this one. Just to give me the beginning address. That's it. You know what I'm gonna do? If the beginning address is here, okay, just put the beginning address in register X. So what the function is gonna do, X is here. I'm gonna get this character. Are you 0? No, I'm not 0. So go to LCD, then increment X, right? Come here. Are you 0? No, I'm not 0. Go to LCD. Okay, come here. Are you 0? No, go to LCD. Are you 0? No, go to LCD. Are you 0? Yes, I am 0. Okay, so I'm gonna return. I'm done. I'm gonna return. Good, okay. So that's exactly how the function works. Very easy, right? So all what you have to do in order to use this function, guys, number one, you have to define the function. You have to define array this way, and you have to put 0. Okay, here. Why I use 0? Okay, what happens if the 0 is repeated inside here? There is no way the 0 is going to repeat it inside here. Why? Because there is no character. Its ASCII is 0. So I'm quite sure whatever character you put here is not going to have 0. You got what I'm saying? So you have to make sure of that. Even 0, yeah, 0 is not going to be, it's going to be 0. As you know, 0 is going to be 30. You got what I'm saying? That's why I use 0. Okay, so don't use anything else, because if you use something here else, then it may happen to be here. But 0 is not going to happen to be here at all. This is one thing. Another thing, don't put 0 here inside here. If you put the 0 here inside here, it's going to stop here. Once you find this 0, it's going to stop if you program this way. But both string is gonna display until it finds number 0. So if you put inside here, what's gonna happen? There is no delimiter. So it's gonna keep reading for until it hits 0 by accident. Got what I'm saying? But anyway, that's why I have to put the 0 here. How I use this function? Very simple. Look how I use this function. Very trivial, very simple. Just put the beginning address in register X and then call the function. That's it. Put the beginning address, that this one or this one, the beginning address, put it in register X and then call the function. How this function works, as I just explained right now, you will see. Look here, guys. This is how the function works. Look here. I'm going to read element pointed by X and then increment X, as you see here. If this element is equal to 0, I am done. So I'm going to come here to leave. I'm done, leave. If not, if this element is not 0, so I'm going to put character LCD, send it to the LCD, and then go back here, go back to repeat here, go back to get next one. I already incremented X. See the logic? Any questions? Any question, guys? Okay. So anyway, so let me, just in 1 minute, I want to explain this program. Nothing is new. Just give me 1 minute. Look, guys. I just want to display. I want to display these two messages on the LCD. How I can do that? Okay. Number one, you have to define. I'm going to define the two messages here. One here and this one. So every line is going to be one message, as you see here. Okay. So I define both of them. This is number one. Number two, I need to call configure LCD for initialization one time. That's it. Okay. Then I'm gonna look here. I'm gonna put the beginning address of this one, of message one. I'm gonna put it in register X, and then I'm gonna call put string LCD. So after this instruction, you will see the first one. Nothing is here. You will see the first one. Is that okay? Now, it's important. Now, if you, I told you the first line is 16. If you keep writing, so it's gonna, after 16, it's gonna go automatically to next line automatically by its own. No. You get what I'm saying? So you have to write a command to go to next one, because after 16, it's not gonna go automatically to the next line. That's why. Look here, guys. That's why I wrote this one here. So what I did here, guys, I'm gonna move the cursor to here, and then I'm gonna write the second message. Very important. What I'm saying, if you keep writing, so it's automatically it's gonna go to next one. No, you have to write a command, right? So after I displayed the first one here, I have to write this command to move to the next line, C0, right? And then I display the second one. Okay. You don't need to loop. You don't need to loop. Once you write it one time, it's gonna be shown there. Okay, guys. Once you write it one time, it's gonna be shown there. Okay. Very important. Last thing, very important. This is completely different from the 7 segment, as I'm gonna explain 7 segment later. In 7 segment, if you have number 7, 2, 3, you have to keep looping. It's not only one time. You're not gonna write it one time. I have to write 7, then 2, then 3, and then I have to keep looping. So I have to keep writing all the time. Here the situation is different, because inside the LCD, it has a circuit. It has this circuit is gonna keep the number there. You got what I'm saying? But the 7 segment is just LED. So the LED you have to keep writing to the LED, as I'm gonna explain it later anyway. But here the situation is different. So that's why don't put it in a loop. It's not in a loop. Just once you write it one time, it's gonna be there. Any question, guys? Okay, see you tomorrow. Yes. No. If you want to quiz, I can make a quiz. Yes.
I was wondering, you upgraded the test already?
Yes, we distributed last time.
Okay, so you haven't.
You didn't come last time?
No, because did you see my email?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the TA is gonna bring it next time and give it to you.
Okay. And tomorrow, do I get the board?
Yes.
Okay.
We did. Okay, sorry, just I want to turn it.